Now, I'm not familiar with that much in the horror genre. Despite having the occasional sexual thoughts about Freddy Fazbear, I don't like horror games. I broke my throat over a creeper, so I don't want to know how much something that's intended to scare me will do as such. But one day, scrolling down the Crunchyroll anime list, I found something that changed my world on one particular horror game in general. Ao Oni the Blue Monster. I've heard of Ao Oni. I saw some guy play it with his mom, and I played a Roblox rendition of the game, but I never really invested myself into the game past that much. I wouldn't have paid that much mind to the show if it weren't for the fact that a friend who was in the call I was in didn't have a history with the funny blue guy, so in that call we decided to watch the entire show, and it was something magical, let me tell ya. This show is a series of shorts that give a much more comedic version of the horror game a spin. The episodes are disappointingly short, however, only 3 minutes an episode. And if you think that's short, you haven't heard it all. The beginning intro spiel and TV Tokyo logo take up 35 seconds of the 3 minutes, and the outro takes up 30 seconds, leaving about 1 minute and 55 seconds worth of actual unique content. This could have been fit into one, or more accurately, I could have been watching a bit more than one episode of any other show, but instead I decided to watch this because it was actually sort of entertaining, but that's to be discussed in just a bit. This absolute masterpiece of an anime has the cast of Ao Oni because it's adapted from it. But for those who haven't played the game or seen any media regarding it, our protagonists consist of the smart one, who I'm pretty sure you play as in the main game, the sort of dumb one who is very scared, the woman, and the sort of cool one that the woman likes. I think I only know their personalities in the anime. The main antagonist of the show, you could say, is the Ao Oni, the big purple-head guy. As the series progresses, however, 2 more Onis are sort of given some sort of character, those being Squado the Buff and Fuwadi the Blockman Oni, who is the best character in the show, and also best girl. There are others that can be seen in the room with all the Onis, but the main 3 become recurring in some manner for the rest of the series. And while I believe the main cast does not develop as characters at all during the course of the show, the main Oni does, in some sort. In episode 1, he is seen to only be a killing machine, hanging, eating, and beating the cast to death. But in the episodes after that, he is shown to be a caring individual for those he deems valuable or in some need of assistance. The main episodes that hold these values are 4 and 13. Ao Oni is seen to put care into his traps, his cooking, and he shows sadness for his friends who have unfortunately left too soon. Rest in peace, Squado. The worst part about this show for me was definitely the lackluster art style and animation. They changed the designs of most of the characters, whether they be changing the full designs of the human characters, or just de-horrifying the Onis. Everyone gets a redesign. The actual art style in a way reminds me of Puyo Puyo for strange reason. It's probably the blue lines, flat colors, and the proportions. I'm not a big fan of that or the animation, which feels like a Flash animation. It's asset-based and definitely not of the highest quality, which is fine. I'm perfectly used to that since that's how I go at things. But this is Studio Dean. Don't know them? They animated Konosuba, but at the same time they did 7 Deadly Sins Season 3, and honestly it makes sense now. I would have been fine with it if it was all the episodes in just one big OVA or ONA, but no. It had to be stretched out across 13 episodes and broadcasted on Japanese TV. Oh, how I pity those people who watched it by themselves on its original airing. But even though I think this was a subpar, not that good show that doesn't look that good either, God did I find this show good, and great even. I'm looking at this from the perspective of someone who hasn't played the game, so I don't know how great of an adaptation this is, but it's certainly better than the movie. Obviously, I was watching it in a call with some friends. That is most likely how I derived any sort of pleasure out of this show. We always had something to say when going through the episodes, and it was probably the best experience I've had screen sharing any sort of show. But I can say it's also because this is probably my favorite so bad it's good sort of thing in the past while. And because of that, I gave this show a 10 out of 10 on my anime list. Some of my favorite anime, like Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, Toradora, and Violet Evergarden, are nothing compared to my 10 out of 10s on my anime list. Those being Himoto Umaru-chan, Ero Manga Sensei, and now Ao Oni the Animation. Congratulations, Ao Oni. Enjoy my praises.